if they're lucky, they'll get a type chat. But you got live people standing there talking on the phones that flat know what they're doing. And that makes a big difference. People are very beholden to that. They're very appreciative.
No, it doesn't matter that it's 800 or?
No, but we didn't know the 800 number was down.
Oh, your phone system was down.
Yeah, well, the phone system, we had a new phone system. Talk about stupid. I can't believe that we did this. We had Saturday afternoon, the phone guy came in, shut off all the phones, started ripping out all the equipment. It's still not complete.
Oh, no.
Right. The CV store can't talk to anybody. We got the Culver City store in line about 3 o'clock. The warehouse, shipping, all that stuff. Culver City still can't call them.
Oh.
So it's been silly. You know, it's just been stupid. So
how much do you think I lose you?
I think a lot.
Yeah.
I can't put a number on it, but
thank goodness for the internet. Making sales now.
People still walked into the store and we were still making sales online, but you know, maybe we could have eked another 20 grand out. I mean, maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
You know.
So do you guys jump on the bandwagon of making like extra deals on Black Friday and Cyber Monday more than any other time of the year?
I mean, do we throw a couple things out there that
like loss leaders or anything like that?
Yeah.
Oh, you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I've always believed that you take your most conspicuous items and you make them conspicuously cheap when most people are looking. I've got one factor that has MAP pricing. Are you familiar with that?
No.
Minimum advertised price. And there's a product, they say, you cannot sell this below 207. You can't do it, you can't do it. Well, there's been a competitor that's been selling below 207 for 2 months now. And then 2 other guys are selling it for like 205 or something. We've complained and complained and complained. So Thursday, well, before Thanksgiving, we dropped it the night before, after everybody went home in Utah with this factory. We dropped it to 189 and gave a special code, and when you hit our page, it flashed. And this is a really hot product. We sold hundreds of them.
Now, is there still a markup and profit?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, we made 40% gross margin or more, 40 to 45% gross margin.
Now, when a manufacturing price that's set on that, do they restrict you and say you cannot offer like gift cards? Because that's how Best Buy and all
gift cards. They don't want you to say. They don't want you to say call for better pricing or put it in a cart for better pricing. Some don't care, some do. Everybody has a different rule. You know?
Wow.
But we lived with the spirit, and these guys have been cheating for a couple of months. So we just blew them out. I mean, and then of course, before they got to work on Monday,
put it back
changed it. I kept waiting for a call. Nobody called. Nobody said anything. We might do it again. You know?
That's funny. But think about it. If they complain to you, and you say, "Well,
I can tell. I've been calling about this for 2 months. We've done nothing. You know, we want to be one of your best dealers, and we can outmarket everybody else in our category. But price a lot of times wins, like on Amazon and everything. And they've got the automatic setup where if you drop a buck, they drop a buck.
Wow.
Yeah, or, you know, they'll drop a $1.05.
Yeah.
That way they can stay ahead. So when we put in MAP pricing, 2 other companies dropped below MAP. Okay, factory, go get them.
Yeah.
Because you can put a limit in there that says you can't go below this on this particular product. That's what they should do. It's easy to do.
There's programming put in place where people are actually scanning your website to find out what your pricing is and drops it below.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, let's say,
hardcore.
well, usually it's on the same product.
Yeah.
You know, you go on Amazon, you see 5 people selling the same thing.
Oh, on Amazon they do that.
On Amazon, yeah, yeah. And there's probably, well, you can also go to Google Shopping and see who's selling for what.
Yeah. Wow. So is that one of your
Very well.
as far as your the control that you get from Google, has that been something difficult to kind of rein in? Or?
I'm probably not qualified to answer that question, but I know because I'm not doing it personally. One of my guys is studying stuff.
Yeah, you said that young guy that was really, really good.
Yeah, yeah, he's got it dialed in.
Huh.
And we're getting a lot off of that. We're getting a lot of stuff off of that.
The Google PLAs,
Hmm?
the product listing ads on Google.
The shopping, yeah.
Yeah, and if you can stay in shopping, but you have to do it right. If you make a couple of mistakes, Google will pull you out.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a lot of tolerance for people who aren't paying attention.
What kind of mistakes?
Hello.
Having a different price on your website than you have
Yeah.
in Google Shopping, that's a no-no. They really frown on that.
Oh, okay.
Now, you
Hi,
may
I'm
say,
Steve. How are you?
it's
I'm Chris.
$100 plus
There's
free
the
freight.
man.
I guess that's Steven, department there.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you,
How's it going?
Steven?
Our longtime member,
Good to
John.
meet you.
John? Christine. Nice
Christine,
to meet you.
good to meet you.
Yeah.
And then if they go on your website and you find, if they go on your website and find out that you don't have free shipping.
Yeah.
They know you're trying to game the system and they don't
Right.
take that.
Oh, they check manually.
Oh, yes,
Huh.
yes,
Why would somebody
Well,
want to cheat like that? I mean, that gets a lot of people upset.
because they can win.
Wow.
They can win very, very quickly, but all it takes is one customer complaining and then Google's on it. And, I mean, they're on it.
Yeah.
Dying to learn that system.
Soon enough. Jeez. Rest you real quick. We're live. Yep.
We've also improved our
people.
click-through rate dramatically.
With that or
No, what do you call it, the buy rate?
conversion?
Thank you. We went from 0.5% to over 2%,
Wow.
almost overnight.
From what?
Really dialing in Google AdWords.
Yeah.
So we're spending half as much. We're actually making more money.
That's the trick. If you can get it down where you can actually start to not let Google take just all the wasted spend out there.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we've been trying to master more and more. We've got a really good system down of doing that. It takes a lot of front end work to like put it all together the right way.
Yes.
But then the backside of the result is you get a lot better conversions, a lot less waste.
Oh, yeah. We're saving and it's allowed us to just go in and methodically make little tweaks and little changes, and it's just right now we're like a machine. It's just like a machine rolling along. You know, it's
And just one guy doing the whole thing.
yeah.
Wow.
Well, plus an assistant
Okay, so it doesn't help.
and a huge back room where we can pick, pack, and ship. We pick, pack, and shipped 400 boxes on Monday.
So your AdWords guy is also your shipping guy?
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean, it takes a team to make it work.
Oh yeah.
If we weren't shipping out the way we are, if we weren't carrying the inventory the way we do, he wouldn't have anything to work with.
Yeah.
But the whole behind the wall was already set up, waiting for us to move to action,
Wow.
and we did.
How did you get started in the seed business?
You know, I got out of Vietnam. Nobody wanted to hire you because you were a vet.
Uh-huh.
They wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. Couldn't get a date. Nothing. You know. And I was reading ads in the Valley News, and it talked about this company that, you know, looking for a salesperson, territory, salary plus commission, and I applied for it. They were all the way in Paramount, California. And it was so far, I thought, yeah, I'm not going to work here. But I took the interview because I made the appointment. They felt I was so relaxed and cool and calm and collected, I was a must-have. So they really pursued me hard, and I took the job. I've been doing it ever since.
Wow. And then you ended up buying the company, or you ended up buying the company, or you
No, they were a manufacturer,
Oh, okay.
and they got a sales manager that I just couldn't stand. So myself and two friends founded another safe manufacturing company, and I left them. And
You found it.
yeah, oh yeah, we started from scratch,
Wow.
and we did pretty good. You know, we did pretty good. Then the sales manager left that company. They sent a headhunter out after me, and they offered me almost twice the salary plus more commissions. So I took it. I still was part owner of the first company.
Which is a competitor, then I take it.
Oh yeah, they were hot competitors, yeah.
Wow.
But
Oh, sorry.
that's all right.
Sorry.
big is it?
Yeah.
That's because it's cold out.
Yeah, probably.
So suffering from tryptophan poisoning.
What an awesome story.
Yeah, and you know what? They kept moving further and further away. So eventually it was, after 3 moves, it was 2 hours to get to work. So I bought out one of my dealers
Wow.
in the Sampton Valley.
And that's how you started your own retail.
Yeah,
Wow.
which was a whole different experience, just completely different. And it's like I started from scratch again. It was really hard.
Oh, yeah.
Really hard.
That's awesome. Though. And now you have 3 stores?
3 stores, 4 warehouses, and 4 if you count the online.
Yeah, but
That is awesome.
trying to learn stuff. I haven't actually.
Oh, something that we really like.
So, who is it exactly? I mean, I'm.
That guy.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah, well, so I obviously it's the first time here. So what do you do?
No, I'm a future internet apparel company. So
Nice.
I don't know if I'm in the right place or not.
This is
There's a good
probably,
chance.
yes, it's probably the best place to
Yeah.
come. If you
Yeah.
probably have a bazillion questions, and you know we actually have some people that can really help answer the questions that you might have.
Okay. Yeah, I saw it and I thought, you know, I belong to a couple other Santa Clarita meetups and I just haven't seen it. And I went, oh.
What kind of apparel?
T-shirts and then I have aprons off the line and women's pajamas.
Okay, and are they already online, or are they you're going to get them
No,
online?
no, they're not. So
Oh.
I don't,
You have a retail store now?
no, they're not anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Your imagination.
Yeah,
Well,
up
the
here somewhere.
samples, I'm having like samples made, you know, like that, but I've been working on the business plan and all that.
Oh, where are you planning to put it?
Well, I want to put t-shirts in the, because they're about Hollywood. I want to put them in hotels, high-end hotels in the airport shops. And then the aprons I want to put like in sort of top on the Bath and Beyond, the pajamas.
Now, have you been in that industry before?
I've had a line of t-shirt, women's sleeve shirts, you know, but I'm moving up to the next step. I just want to know, you know, I mean, I want to do mostly selling wholesale, but then I want to be able to sell my own online too. So, and I got SEO campaign. And I look it up, and then I just go, oh, you gotta be kidding.
Yeah, I think I said that.
So I'm just looking like at adult schools and stuff, thinking there might be some, you know, intro to SEO or whatever, and that's like, wow, there isn't any, you know.
Oh,
I
I
saw
do.
you, and I thought, well, okay, maybe I can.
Today's a good day to
learn
come.
something.
I know.
Today's a perfect day to come.
Huh?
Today's the perfect day to
Yeah.
come.
Right, good.
There's been a website I've been promising to finish for like the last 3 years. There is that ability. It's called Learn Basic SEO.
There you go.
And
Okay,
so-
right.
Yeah,
right,
and
right.
right now it's been. I usually let a site put up and I let it ripen for like 6 to 8 months, which means I just throw content up there that's decent with keywords,
Okay.
and then let Google just let it sit there and.
Yeah.
And 3 years later, it's overripe. I have to go in and do something with it. But it's,
Okay.
it has a lot of, because it's been around, even though there's not a lot of changes on it, because it's been around, it has the ability to pick up a lot of momentum a lot faster. So we'll see.
Cool.
So, tip number 1, if you do have a website in mind or already a domain name, get it up as soon as possible and get some content on there. And then,
You know, I did Wix. I did my own.
oh,
I know.
okay.
I know.
Rule number
I
2,
hear
don't
Wix.
use Wix. Rule number 2, don't use Wix. Actually, Google doesn't like Wix. Wix says they do, but there was a whole article once that they eliminated all Wix sites from the search results for like a couple of weeks. Couldn't
Why
figure-
is that?
Well, Wix is, for one, your site is captive by Wix. I mean, it's on their servers. They
Right.
control everything. They also control your code. And it's very important that your code be flexible, not be so
Yeah.
proprietary to what Wix wants only. So you'll have a lot of issues with that because the structure of Wix's sites are not SEO friendly. just play it out. They're not.
Oh,
They're
okay.
beautiful sites. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I learned something already.
Yeah, they look so nice, but try to get off that Wix platform as soon as possible because it'll hurt you.
What did you say, WordPress? Maybe?
Yes. Now, WordPress is definitely one of the ones. The learning curve's a little tough, but there's a ton of people who know it. So, and yeah, that won't give you a headache. There's Anthony Frank runs a free meetup on WordPress at the New Hall Library on Saturdays.
Oh, yeah? Oh, okay.
Second week of Saturday.
Another person.
Yeah, are you on Meetup.com?
Yeah, yeah.
Look for the WordPress group. It's run by Anthony Frank.
Oh, okay.
Is it a program or is that a?
It's a piece of software that runs websites. It helps you manage your content on your websites.
Yeah.
So it makes it a lot easier to put up pictures instead of trying to code everything. You can actually use the tools in the software and then it'll put it up there for you. But like I said, there is a learning curve. But it's not that hard. I have a website called fixbychris.com, and it has some really basic fundamental stuff that most people have asked me in the past. How do I do this on WordPress? And instead of repeating myself, I just threw it up on there so that I could. There's a lot of junk on that site too, so just look for what you're looking for, the WordPress category, and maybe some of the things you want.
There's another fellow, Paul Tobin. I'm sure you've had it at several different events that we've gone through his talk at Dennis's event. And his site is
I do.
I need help with WordPress.com.
Yeah.
And he has free training program that's just for signing up.
Yes.
We're used to it.
He goes to Earn 1K.
Sorry?
He goes to Earn 1K, right? Earn 1K? Yeah.
he's talking.
Paul Tobin. I'll go ahead and put a note page up there. Actually, what was the website called?
I think it's I need help with WordPress or WordPress.
Perfect.
Or just Paul Tobin because that's all he does. It's TAUBMAN.
He's all over the place.
All in customer support.
They do not, because it's free. You can pay for something on it. I've never paid for anything for WordPress.
WordPress.com,
Yeah.
they have plans with health features.
LYNDA. That's you can start learning on there. And that's it's a great website. And it's only $25 a month. And you're not tied to a long-term commitments. Just watch the videos you want to start. And if you have time to sit down in a few days in a row, sit down and you have 7 days free to see if this is something you want. So you can try to do the trial. And if you want to try to look at the WordPress ones, you can actually take a look at that. And a lot of the old Lynda.com videos end up on YouTube. So YouTube is a wealth of information on how to do things on WordPress as well.
Sure, it's a wealth of information on just about anything.
Yeah, it's a wealth of overload too, I guess. That would be another way. But Paul Tobin. Yeah.
Is that, you just go to WordPress.com
For
WordPress?
actually, depending on who you're hosting it with, like if you're going to build a website and you have a host provider that's one of the big names, a lot of them have automatic button one-click install. Well, that's like 3 clicks, but they call it the one-click install. But they have a little icon in their control panel in the back end when you hit the server, and you can just say, I want to install and kind of follow along. If you use, I use a hosting called Bluehost and HostGator. HostMonster also uses cPanel.
Most of them have some sort of panel that has like a one-click install
Yeah.
for WordPress.
So those are the 3 majors I use, and if you call their customer support for free, they'll walk you through it. So if you want to, especially if you're new and you're saying, hey, I want to know if I can install WordPress on this, I'm thinking about getting hosting, and they'll be very helpful in helping you with that. I'm sorry, I forgot your name already. No,
Christine,
Christine, that's right. Christine, what other platforms were you thinking about, or what other areas were you thinking about marketing?
no, like,
Besides your own site.
I guess I'm just here on,
Okay.
like links, affiliate programs. I haven't hopped into something. Yeah,
Have you tried? I mean, do you make it yourself? Is it?
I'm having it manufactured, I'm just designing it.
Oh, okay.
I haven't jumped in, I just did a little Facebook, but I mean, I just so, basically it's, I'm just burned out on a lot of computers, so I just haven't done anything.
My recommendation, I'm not a huge social media fan, but I do know that Facebook is very powerful.
I know.
And the other one is for your particular niche is going to be if you're a designer and you have really nice designs coming out of Pinterest. Yes, their advertising platform is becoming very powerful as well. There's a lot of podcasts that people are talking about things like that. So those would be the two. You might want to look in. Their Instagram, I guess, is also doing advertising now. Pretty popular.
Yeah, I keep getting things to say, you should visit this webpage on Instagram.
Yes,
And
yes.
I keep saying, why do I care about it? So,
You know what's interesting is that Stephen was showing me today that they actually, Instagram now, if you have the remarketing pixel or the code that's on your website, so if somebody comes and visits your website, say if you bought an ad off of somewhere and they just sent it to your website and that person doesn't buy, if they jump over to Instagram, then it will kind of haunt them with your product. So it'll remind them, hey, you didn't buy this, it's still here kind of thing.
That's rather annoying.
It can be, but it's very
It would be
effective.
annoying to me if somebody else did it to me, that's all.
Yeah. Yeah, the retargeting side of it. My assistant that I work with, she would tell me that it's very annoying because when she'd go on Macy's, she loves shoes, that if she doesn't buy shoes, those shoes will literally follow her around the web. And as a marketer, she can't resist it too. She knows what they're doing, but it keeps reminding her. So she's just saying how powerful it really is. It will haunt you if you don't buy. So that's interestingly enough, that's one of the things I want to talk about as far as the trend that's going to be happening in 2016. It would be interesting to see where we're going to be going with advertising on the internet. With Google fighting with Apple very hard now, and a lot of the ad blockers that are out there, we're going to see a whole different shift in the way people are going to start advertising. I even see commercials now on Imagine a World Without Advertising. And I gotta think that Google has a lot of it. Yeah, so they show like people reading their tablets in the Wall Street Journal, and then all of a sudden that goes white. Or they're walking down the street and there's like no advertising for anything information because they, actually a lot of the public bus depots get maintained from the revenue that comes in from, so their whole campaign is about what advertising does do for the economy and for the world as far as getting content out there. Because if you think about it, a lot of bloggers, the reason why they blog is because it sustains them that they can actually, even though that wasn't their maybe original intent, to blog to get revenue, when they start making revenue, they can do better content because they don't have to work two other jobs. That's a common story all over the place. What are the podcasters? Exactly the same. I'm listening to a podcast with Cliff Ravenscraft. He's called the Podcast Answer Man. He's the most well-known authority in podcasting. And he talks a lot about how he didn't intend to make any money on it. And when it started making income, then he started changing over to being able to give more content, and now has 3 podcasts that are very well funded, I guess, by advertisers that are out there. So I was thinking, what would I do? I could make content, but I wouldn't make any revenue on it. And you can't really block something like, for instance, if I have a podcast and I'm just kind of talking, and the ads that normally pop up would now be stopped. But if I would have an advertiser in the middle of my podcast saying, "Oh, by the way, folks," if you're holding up and you're talking about who's advertising, they can't block that. And I think we're going to start to see more trends that way. Even in podcasting, at the end of a lot of the podcasters, they're actually verbally saying, who's been sponsoring stuff more and more, because that can't be stopped. That's not a blockable object. And I think we're going to start seeing a trend that's going to be a lot more popular that way. Kind of like
the ads on YouTube that are jumping up in the middle of it and why they went to YouTube Red.
oh, I don't know.
Yeah, there's YouTube Red now for $12.99 a month.
Yes, but it's popping up in the middle of it.
Yeah,
You're listening to something.
yeah.
We listen to a lot of YouTube motivational type stuff, and right in the middle of it, you'll get a random commercial.
Oh, yeah, like an old movie?
They're interrupting the middle of a video.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have not seen that yet.
It's always something, if you're doing a meditation, that's the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watch old
Very
movies
true.
that
So that's how
they have
Google's
commercials.
fighting with Apple.
Wow. I don't know, but that's going to make a lot of people on YouTube mad. Isn't it annoying?
No, but
Yeah.
YouTube, what happens in YouTube is that now they have this 30 seconds commercial that you cannot stop.
Yeah.
You
Right.
have to watch it. And then you start listening to your right.
Yeah. So now,
You
And
can't
then
skip
the ads pop up.
so as an advertiser, if you make a video that's 29 seconds or less to be played on other videos, then that's how you make it so that they cannot skip it. As long as it's 29 seconds or less. Once it goes over 30, they can skip it after 6 seconds. But it's interesting because the ad blockers will still block that. You know, if you have that, with the ad blocker plus and the software that's installed on the browsers, they'll still block a lot of the ads from showing up. Even the main Google site, when you're searching it, all the ads disappear if you have the ad blocker on it. So they're competing with
Rich, as a YouTuber, you have to allow them to put those ads in. And that's how you make revenue on YouTube.
But I wonder what the YouTube Red. Oh, they must be allowing them. That's gotta be.
No,
Yeah,
the Red
the
is
Red
commercial
is
free.
commercial free.
No, but the
But in
commercial
4.99
itself that comes up, are they forcing it, or you think that
No,
the
no,
video
no, it's
makers
an
are on?
option,
Yeah.
but you what, they have a tryout now, and it's $12.99 a month.
So what's the ad blocker?
So the ad blocker, it's a third-party software that you can actually install on your browser, and it'll prevent all ads from showing up. Or not all, it'll prevent a lot of ads from showing up.
Adblocker.com.
You know what? I don't know. Look for AdBlocker Plus on Google, and then you
I
should
like the ads.
Yeah, and you know what? I do too. There's a lot. Sometimes you get actually better results from ads that can come up than the natural results.
Have you guys seen the ad on YouTube for the squatty potty?
Yes.
Unicorn?
Ice cream making.
What's the squatty potty?
Oh, you gotta look it up.
It's basically a stool, right?
It's a stool, yeah, for your
I've
feet.
never actually seen it. I get 6 seconds and I'm like, nope.
They do a much better job of describing what it is. You should look it up.
Yeah, it's a hilarious. I mean, whoever is making those, it's the poopery. It's that same type of concept of commercial. Very entertaining type of commercial because it's just so odd. I mean, it's like,
Funny actually got funded on
Shark
Shark
Tank.
Tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Oh,
What
so
are you
just so you know,
talking
adblockplus.org.
Adblock Plus.
Yeah.
Chris, when you were talking about we're talking about products in the middle of your video, they're kind of doing that in movies now too. with
Yeah.
Car brands, obviously, but Coke is there, so you can actually see what they're drinking.
The product placement, that's big money.
Yeah, it's huge, yes.
Been going on for years.
Yes, but it's more blatant now. Like the Microsoft Windows laptop opens up and it's showing Bing. Who searches on Bing? It's like, come on. It's all these crime shows. You're really gonna do research on Bing? I don't. But it's kind of funny because you do see that. Yeah, so they're blatantly putting it in there, and I think that's going to be a huge shift. Where I don't know. I mean, the internet has picked up momentum now. That if you think about it, those who have actually utilized their popularity of like the blogging and the YouTubing, the next phase is they don't really need AdSense on their websites anymore. They can actually generate their own income just by advertisers who are reaching out. And I think it's going to get even more competitive for them. For the advertiser, because now that ad blockers are blocking so much revenue, the only thing next to do is go buy banners that will get past that, or that will be part of the content within the website. Where the ad blockers won't know the difference between a banner or an image. That's just an image part of the embedded that's in there. Yes.
So for us, how do we know if our pop-up is popping up, and how do we know if our banner, if we have, how do we know what's coming to our potential customers from our sites?
What do you advertise with? Google?
I have an Amazon banner app, but also I have pop-ups that show people other articles that they might be interested to go to a landing page.
You know, the pop-up, that's a good question. I'm going to guess that AdBlocker Plus is actually stopping that too.
Because it's blocking. So I know that some of my pop-ups on some things are getting blocked.
Yes. So
Even though it's not selling anything, it's just saying, hey, do you need help with this? And it's going to take them to a different PayPal landing page that they know.
Yeah, I don't
So the
know.
question is, if ad blocker is blocking it, is it, are you still getting charged for a hit if you're advertising?
If you're doing impression, I think it still shows an impression. That's, I think, but I can't be for sure.
That'd be the-
I haven't seen an impression loss lately. I mean, because I'm in the AdWords platform a lot, which gets blocked if you use it a lot, and I have not seen an impression loss. And I know we're getting blocked more and more. I mean, people, it's AdBlocker Plus is becoming so prevalent. It's in the news everywhere, which even has gained more awareness of it. But we are seeing less clicks in general, which means people aren't seeing it as much. But we don't get charged for that unless because we run by a click.
No, there's some other platforms we get paid by impressions. And all that.
Yes, so
So that would be the.
that's a good question. Yeah, because already, I mean, they've already been saying that like Facebook will just rip you off with impressions, and you can't really prove anything that if it was seen or not. But there are some. So you're battling not only the platform that's letting you advertise, you're also battling the blockers that are not showing your ads. But that's a good question. I don't
So
know.
is Facebook charging for those that see your ad, or are they just?
Yes, they do charge by impression. So those that see it, they're not necessarily a click. They have both ways, right? Of doing that. On that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You can make a really good video ad. That's the
What
platform to
about
use.
that? Because I'm hoping, if I get it all done,
Mhm.
to launch my first product this year.
oh, congratulations!
Yeah.
So I wanted to do a Facebook contest, but I'm not quite sure. Like, I have a sister and a friend who both did theirs for free. They just did it as a post, and they said, "Hey, help us to get so many likes." And they just did it as a post, and if they had already liked the page, they said to share, and they just did it. There was no cost. So I read the Facebook rules, and I didn't see anything in there that disallowed that. But Facebook is so quirky.
Yes,
I'm afraid of.
they change the rules quite often. Do you know about contests? I know that was a popular thing to
Because
do.
I would like to do that, and because that way people see the product, they could win it, and then by collecting those emails, then I can.
Now, and you're paying for the ads for a contest, or
Well, that I don't know if I want to
because I was
do a
wondering.
dark post, or if I want to just see if I can get people to share, because that's going to give them another entry.
Yeah, because if you have someone that can actually help you push that, I mean, you're going to need a lot of momentum if you're not paying for it to be pushed out there. If you have that type of resource, that someone who can help you do that, that has like the likes and the follows and all the people already in it, then that would work.
Can I ask what kind of product you got?
I teach self-massage, so it's a massage tool, and I make them, and so they're unique, and they come each with a video tutorial. So,
Interesting.
yeah.
Chris, what about sending them to a separate page or a website that has your contest and has your everything on it,
Yeah,
rather than putting it in?
that was another thing. I'm trying to sans tools, think of this, do everything. I'm kind of like going crazy.
Because that way it's away from Facebook, but then it's away from Facebook, so you may not get the shares. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you
What I
can
wanted to get was obviously the email address, but then if they wanted to share it, it was a way that people who had already liked the page, they could see what I mean, like either which way. But I know there's apps that do that. They are contest. What do they call it? They're contest. they're for Facebook contests.
Yes.
And like you pay a certain amount for each. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's one, I think it's called Wills.
So I think you're right. The thing is, I have not. I mean, I've heard of it and I've seen people use it. I didn't know if it was still.
But the fact that I know that my friend did it and my sister did it,
Uh-huh.
it's like, they didn't make a gazillion dollars, but they got what they wanted and zero cost. So that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Join today, you will receive a 30% off coupon for your gift book or.
Well, what I can tell you is you probably want to make sure you just go over Facebook's terms. But if you do Facebook contest rules, first one is actually page terms. And because I know that one of the things it's been a while when I read about it, but somebody was saying that they couldn't prove, or Facebook was worried that contests were being run without payment being made to winners. And so I don't know what they did to make sure they're regulating it, but my impression of when I was reading the article about it was that they weren't going to let it keep going for a while.
From what I read, they weren't disallowing this type of post to be shared, for a contest. So that was what I got. That was like 2 weeks ago when I read it. Maybe it's changed. I mean, honestly, Facebook.
So they're gonna win your product, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
If they get enough points by sharing it. Is that
Well,
right?
what my sister did, she makes rabbit toys. So
Toys for rabbits?
There's a niche for.
they chew them up and then they have to buy more, so it works for her. So
Well, I didn't know rabbits played.
yeah, it keeps them from breaking their teeth and they'll gnaw on the cage and stuff. But anyway,
Interesting.
so she put them all into a fishbowl and did a video and then showed the name being drawn out. And she did the just likes and shares. But I wanted to get an email address, so that was the difference. Because I really, it's nice to have Facebook likes, but
Yeah, you're gonna have to go. He's right. You have to go outside for the email if you're gonna be.
right, they need to go to a landing page,
Yeah.
which I can put up just off my site, just make up a page. That's not
Mhm.
a problem.
Give them some other how-to content to go along with your product as, free inducement too.
Well, yeah, if they go over to the site, they'll see because I make each one unique. They're kind of hard to describe, but at any rate, they're made from tree branches with knots and gnarls in it, and it helps to work out the knots in your knots. So that's it. So each one comes with a tutorial on how to use it. Like some are better suited for arthritic fingers, some are better suited for athletes with tight hamstrings, other ones. So just a short video, but they can watch each one with each tool for free, just to determine which one they would purchase.
Well, if they're all unique and you sell it, then is that video no longer worthwhile being around because that particular tool is gone?
Right.
Oh, that's a lot of work.
I know. I'm just trying to get it.
How much are the?
30.
Wow, that's a lot of work for a $30 sale.
I know.
You don't think?
But I don't think that I can. I don't know if I could get too much more.
Double it.
I would say
Double it.
at least double. Really, it's handmade.
Yeah. Oh, they're beautiful.
And throw it on Pinterest.
Triple it.
Yeah.
And
Or
behind it.
not Pinterest. Etsy.
Etsy.
There
you
I
go.
looked at Etsy, and Etsy has some pretty boring tools, and they put shellac on them, and I wouldn't rub my body with shellac.
You know what? You could be an Etsy rock star from what I'm hearing.
What's
And
But
Pinterest.
how do I tie Etsy to how would I tie Etsy to my page, to my website?
You get some people from there, from my understanding. I'm sorry, I'm not an Etsy expert, other than I know that people who handmake stuff.
Because I know there were some ladies here
Yes.
last time that
I
was
don't-
over Etsy.
That's a bummer that they're not here.
I
They
know.
would be. I'd love to hear what they have to say about it.
Because you do have a link to your website.
On Etsy?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think that.
And Etsy takes a chunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much
But
is
it's
it?
I mean, don't sell it for 30. I'm telling you right now, you're way on the price. You're gonna kill yourself making them buy this one. And
I'm already standing
People that-
oiling.
People that have that issue that
Yeah.
they don't.
Well, my
pay
whole website is all on teaching self-massage, so there's,
People won't pay anything, you know, like, to get insurance.
yeah.
Yes, you're right.
Well, that's why I thought the
Especially teen.
tool would be my first thing, then I was doing courses, and then I was doing coaching, kind of my 3 tiers.
Oh, so that's one of the part of the phones.
So yeah, this is the bottom product, so this is
Oh.
what I was just starting.
Still market higher.
Well, I have one more question. I had someone look at my site and give me some help, and they couldn't see, I have like over 60 articles that are tutorials on all different kinds of massages, foot massage, toe massage, plantar fasciitis, you know, just tons of stuff. They couldn't see that because on the main blog, it's just seeing the top 10, and they couldn't, unless they would search for the thing that they needed, no one could see those articles. So what I did was I made pages.
Can we see it?
Okay.
What is it? That's-
Massage for the number 4 myself.com.
Do you have massage for FOR myself?
No, the number 4.
But do you have that one?
No.
Do you know if it's available?
And look, no.
You should get it.
Buy it and redirect it here.
Oh.
Only because if you tell somebody verbally,
Oh,
the first thing they're gonna do is FOR, massage for myself. And then that way at least, and another thing is,
there, my pop-up came up. Yeah.
yeah, you don't want anybody to steal that other one, grab all your traffic codes. See what's in
Okay,
there.
okay. That's a
I
good
would
idea.
even get FOUR as well.
Okay, all right. So at the top of the website, just get out of my pop-up. I did all those pages up there at the top, where, like, if you go to whatever, I can see shoulder massage or mental massage, whatever.
Okay.
Then you'll see a summary of, so you go on down, so you can click on shoulder stress or the video for shoulder or frozen shoulder down there, and they're just summaries. And if you click on that, then you would be taken to that full article. But is Google going to get me for that? Because I'm kind of double posting, right?
No.
No. Because they like weren't there. No one could see my stuff.
No. I mean, it's a common format to have a brief part of your article
Okay,
showing.
I was like
brief on how they're-
freaking out that they were.
Freak, freak no more.
Yes, there's a tag called the canonical tag. This is WordPress.
Yeah.
Okay, so WordPress automatically creates a canonical tag for you, depending on what you're using. Let's see. Yeah. So right here, it's well canonical. That's a tag that's put in there. Basically, what it does is it tells Google this is the main content of the page. If there's any other pages that look similar to this, I'm the head. And then the other sub pages will actually have, if there is like, because when you like make categories and when you make tags,
Yeah,
it makes multiple pages. And
well, the first that looked at my site didn't want like a main thing and then a drop down, because that's kind of, I had that. She said, no, she says, you've got to have it, one particular thing that people can click on, because, getting people to click anywhere is like gold, right? Click, so they needed to be able to find what they needed help on.
Right away on the first page.
so you're having somebody help you with this, right?
Well, I just had a coach just for one session, just to kind of get it looked over, and I'm starting some women's masterminds.
Okay. Because I mean, I noticed that you're using Yoast, which is a plugin for SEO. That's going to help you a lot. And,
What is this again, Yoast?
Yoast. There's a plugin.
And what is it? Yoast? It's an SEO thing?
It's a, yes, when you put it on your website, when you put it on a WordPress website, it'll help guide you to optimize for SEO better. Smaller learning curve, so you want to like watch a little bit of the tutorials if there are some out there for how to use Yoast. I believe the guy who created it has a website that actually helps them with that as well.
I have a question about that. Has anybody else had any trouble with the latest update of Yoast?
Has anybody had any troubles with the latest update of Yoast?
I just updated today.
Nothing? Okay, 'cause there was something going on with it a little while ago, like for one of our websites, it wasn't really working very well. I don't know if it was just an
Like
update.
the free version when you install the paid version,
No,
those conflicts.
no, it was just the free version. It was like the latest update, and that was on the forums too. There was a lot of people having issues with the latest, but if they fixed it, then never mind, disregard.
Hopefully they fixed it.
Yeah.
All right, so my SEO on that is fine.
There's a couple of things that caught my eye, but you have Yoast, so that's going to help. But there's stuff that Yoast can't help you with. It's a formatting of your regular content. So basic SEO practices is kind of like how newspapers are, magazines and newspapers. When you look at an article, or this is a good example, when you look at like some content, you have a header, and then content, and then usually like in newspapers they'll have another subheader.
Yeah, I have all that on.
Okay, they all look the same, so I didn't.
Because that's just a summary. Look at the whole article. Click shoulder self-massage, and then go to the whole article. Click that one up. But yeah, or read one, sure. And then the whole thing.
Oh, good. Bullet points. Okay, and so these are header tags, right?
Right.
Okay.
You do need to go into Yoast and do some, kind of follow their instructions to, help your SEO.
I put Yoast in at a later date, so a lot of the old posts didn't go through the Yoast, you know what I mean? So I have to go back and see.
Yeah, because that helps your optimization, and if you kind of watch it through, it just ends up.
Yeah. It's done fine with the new ones. I haven't done it on the free ones.
How old is this site?
9 months.
Okay, so one suggestion, just so that your homepage gets a lot more recognition for what it is you probably want to make some kind of paragraph when you welcome somebody. This should be bigger.
Okay, so put that whole thing in there. Don't put.
How big is that? Because if that,
It's not that long.
then yes, that should be full.
Okay.
There's no reason to split up to have somebody that goes to that page for the welcome.
Okay.
That content should be there, and make sure that it is not keyword stuffed, but keyword heavy, that flows well and nice and talks about what you're going to do. So this here is a header tag. Welcome.
Right.
That's a very, very powerful header, and Google's has no clue what the subject matter enhancement is. So
that's just a sticky post I put up there so that, because I had the, do you see at the bottom it'll follow you down? It's a medical disclaimer. I had to obviously have that for obvious reasons. But that was at the top, and I think it was ruining my SEO. Do you see how it follows you?
Mm-hmm.
It's at the bottom of your page.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But I had to have that,
And it has to be static?
I just had to get it at the bottom. It was at the top.
Yeah, put it in the footer.
I couldn't figure that out.
Oh, yeah.
It was like I was afraid to go into the footer and play with the HTML.
Okay. I guess the main thing is that I know that you definitely want to see if you can optimize that first post though.
Okay.
So that's going to be a lot, and especially this welcome.
Okay.
What is the main keyword that you'd like people?
Self-massage.
So start with self-massage. That's the first 2 words that should be first there on the left, right off the bat.
Okay.
Or what about welcome to self-massage?
Well, I could say self-massage can help you. Something like that. I'll play with it.
Yeah. Something like, I mean, welcome to is not too bad. To get every SEO advantage possible, but further to the beginning of the header,
Right.
even if it's like
so self-massage can help you is good because self-massage is the first.
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
welcome to help, self-massage,
Yeah. So looks like you're on your way. Now and you have a subscribe for what?
The pop-up was that would have led you to the chronic back pain is my opt-in. So the pop-up that you had when you first logged on.
Yeah.
That's my opt-in for, people get my top 5 tips for contacting.
So if they fill this in, they get that?
No, that's just, it's a different, I put an extra one on there.
Okay, so what happens if they do subscribe?
If they subscribe there, I have a newsletter.
Newsletter? And what's the benefit of the newsletter? Like,
It's just gonna give them some extra information and let them know what's upcoming in the month ahead, for what posts will be upcoming. I usually throw in some extra, information that might help them, like November was, if you have a cold, you might look at lymphatic drainage massage, and we'll be putting an article up in December on lymphatic drainage. So,
if when they fill it in, do they get like a welcome email?
I don't know.
Okay, that first welcome email, is there like any really good tip that you can stick in there?
For sure. But like I said, the chronic back pain, that's a whole PDF there. And I have a headache one too, where they get a video. It shows them how to do a headache massage with a video. And I took your tip last month and I made that a private page on the site. But remember, MailChimp wouldn't let me deliver that.
Oh, I see what you did. That's right, I remember now. You could put an attachment in and then
It wouldn't let me send it.
The other reason being is that it looks like I have to subscribe to get that, but it's not, and the thing about pop-ups that open up, a lot of people will just not even read it and close it out.
Okay.
Knowing that they're gonna see what they're looking for behind it. So if that's something different, for more massage relief tips, subscribe here. That's something that gives me a reason. Like if I'm in pain, want to have something that's going to.
Yeah, usually people if they're in pain and they've gotten the chronic back pain, they click at the top, it says chronic back pain, and it goes to the office.
When you have analytics on this, you can see where they.
Yeah, it's not enough. It's just not. I'm just not getting enough. Yeah. I get the traffic, but they don't opt in. So maybe.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really say what they're gonna get.
Yeah, exactly.
Who wants to get their email from?
Right. Well, like I said, I put it all into the chronic back pain. It says, like how long have you been in pain and all that. But you're not seeing that off the first page.
There, something to catch their eye.
Anything that can actually heal people's pain, just gotta find the right way.
Well, and also that's everybody jumps to that, and I try to say, it's not. I can't give people a feel better pill. This is going to take effort and work, and they're going to, honestly, I have to be careful to say, reduce your pain. This can help you. This will benefit you. This will reduce stress. But I can't really say I'm going to fix you.
Can you say the word cure?
Yeah.
Can you show examples of how it's helped other people?
Yeah.
So you can have, like testimonials, and then this is what helped them, and this is how to do it.
Yeah. Well, I broke my back in 2005, so I used my.
Wow.
What about working?
I'm kind of curious. In the unique single items like that, how well would that do on Amazon? Do you have?
That's like one of the new Amazon version of Etsy.
What did
It's kind of tough because you gotta upload each and every one.
Oh, yeah, they stop.
I mean, if you're a person that hadn't tried it, it's not an issue. I mean, you could have, 20, 30 products out there.
Yeah.
But, you're also not doing a lot of things that she's doing here by capturing the,
You gotta lose
the client. And
it's so
all
hard to
that
get
work
them
for
right away.
$30.
It's really tough.
And no email, no nothing. It's just not working.
Well, what happens if? Yeah, I guess you wouldn't be able to do it. The other thing, if she's going to ship the product herself.
Well, then you can include your manufacturer's
Information.
warranty and all that with a registration. That capture the email and how many people are going to register a stick.
Yeah, that's true.
But you can include the manufacturer, would be the manufacturer information, website, and all that, which will drive some traffic.
What about using the different ones that you're producing to basically be, have a mold made out of it and then mass produce them for different
Well,
parts of the
You know
body?
what, honestly, because they're all the American sycamore branches, and they have really unique twists in the branches, and to see that in the wood is quite lovely.
And charge more for those. by
Yeah.
So you get the cheap one that's not wood, and then you can handmade it Amazon. The handmade one.
Handmade it.
Ramp
Is
it up.
that what it is?
Oh, so how handmade does it have to be?
Somebody's hands made it.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, they might design.
The other thing you want to get in there is handmade in the USA. If you're handmade.
Well,
in here, that's a big
What
deal.
I'm doing is organic, wild crafted, because they're all trees that I find, in the mountains.
You're not gonna mass produced in the Philippines or.
No, made in the USA.
That's a big deal.
So this is Amazon's Etsy service. That's interesting. I made it.
Really?
What do you call it?
Wow. When did they launch that?
I don't know.
A few months ago.
Oh, yeah?
It's been a
Oh,
while.
a few months ago?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Not, yeah, it hasn't been very long.
Somebody
So if
look
you're
at it.
already an Amazon affiliate, that should be pretty easy to.
Yeah, because you're gonna be a seller there, so it's, that's
Completely
not,
different.
you're not gonna be an affiliate for yourself. If you're
You
selling
know who
your
that'd be
product.
good for?
Are you on Amazon? Sure.
I'm-
Mm. Oh, yeah. Mm. So that's something new. There's a lot of people who make handmade stuff. They're taking Etsy on directly.
Exactly. Yeah, I think
Wow.
It's been less than 6 months, I'm thinking 3 or 4. So it's pretty recent.
Wow, the branding was
So do people have their own sites on there? Is that what it is? They're-
Probably not.
Are they Prime?
It's pretty tall.
I don't think so, because if they're handmade, then that means,
They'd
They're
have to
coming-
send individual ones.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
sending it from the person.
I mean, if you send 10 different ones in, that'd be fine.
Is there even an option for Prime?
Oh, there is.
There
one.
is.
Wow. Amazon Prime.
Oh, sorry, guys.
So right here.
Look at that.
So that means they are sending it up to have it fulfilled by Amazon.
And
Brilliant. Yes, but make sure you don't tell for $30. Though. You're gonna try something like this because they're gonna take half of it.
Yeah, no, I don't think that Amazon is the thing I want. If I have to ship to Amazon, then have them ship it out. But I'm gonna have to.
Depends on your volume. It may look like it's an alternative if you're staying half a day packaging.
Yes. Actually, fulfilling by Amazon is very convenient, and I think it's worth the cost. Seriously.
It dramatically increases your sales.
Amazon?
Yeah.
Because people trust it.
They know they're gonna get it in 2 days.
And they know they don't have to pay for shipping. I think,
Yeah.
for me, I would rather pay a little more for a product that.
Well, I was gonna sell it,
Yeah.
for no shipping as well, just because it makes it easier for people. I know when I buy, I don't wanna figure out the shipping on it.
How is your boxing?
Just do if it ships, it fits.
So these sticks will fit inside there without a problem? Okay. Oh. Wow, that's pretty cool.
I just wrap it really, really well.
So that comes to my next question, I guess, for 2016 that we had. I mean, I want to see where do people think that the marketplace is going to be going? Is Amazon still going to be a monstrous powerhouse where a lot of sellers are going to be entering the market to become internet marketers, or is it starting to shift enough where it's not a viable location that?
Amazon's not standing still. They're doing a lot of really innovative things.
This is yeah.
Another program I saw the other day on, maybe it's been around, I don't know, but it's called Allowance, where you can set up your kids, relatives, whatever, with a monthly allowance. And
That's so smart.
no, what they're doing is they're getting into the banking business.
Oh, that is
Because, you buy $100 every month for Aunt Sally. It sits in an Amazon account, drawing interest. And Aunt Sally, you've done it with coupons or certificates. There's a certain percentage that no one ever redeems.
And they're already in the banking business because they have their own credit card.
Well, they,
Oh, and, well, if you sell on Amazon, we've got lots of offers where they'll print you the money for 6 months. Yeah,
Yeah,
we get an email says, you qualify for $35,000 loan.
Uh-huh.
And what they do is they take out, X number of dollars each pay period that we have with them. We didn't do it.
Yeah.
And PayPal will do the same thing. When you reach a certain level
Yeah,
of
when they see
sales,
consistency.
and they know that, okay, this company is going to be doing this amount of money and they get it back, they'll automatically draw it out at a certain rate. PayPal,
So is
when
that,
they initially did it, it was interest-free. Amazon's not.
What's the percentage when you sell something?
Depends what you sell and where you sell. Anywhere from 15 to 20, but not, and some of the books and stuff is less. But, if you go with FBA, it can vary from 45% to 18%.
for a really rough idea, I sell a product for $19.88 and they take about $8.20 per sale. So, no, Amazon. They take on their fees. But that because of the packing that they do, the shipping that they do, the 2-day shipping, customer doesn't have to pay for it. So
I'm handling the
the shipping
returns.
handling, they handle all the returns, customer service, communication, all that stuff. So, because it sounds like a lot, but when I've tried to ship stuff out myself, I mean, my bottle weighs almost 2 pounds. So it's already quite heavy in a way that I can't ship it. Even the manufacturer shipping it to me is outrageous in what they're going to charge me versus when I ship it when Amazon picks it up and takes it to their warehouse for me. So it's worth it to me. I mean, it's still I don't have to touch the bottles.
You drop the ship. Amazon distribution points.
Well, so my manufacturer makes the product, and then I tell when it's ready, Amazon goes and sends UPS to pick it up for me, takes it directly to the warehouse and puts it into the stock system. And then because mine is liquid, it's a bottle. They also polybag it, each and individual one, and put it on the shelves and wait for it to sell.
does your manufacturer does your manufacturer do the labels for Amazon?
No, they don't.
You have
Those
Amazon
labels,
too?
that's-
Amazon does my labels too.
They'll charge you.
They do. They charge us
What-
20
what-
cents. 20
20
cents?
cents.
Yeah, 20 cents a label.
No.
So, yeah, but all of that, I mean, hands off for me. Really. I have 2 cases shipped to me in my garage, and when it sits there long enough, I can start smelling it. So I just rather not even have to. I can't imagine having 2 pallets in my garage for that as well. But like I said, it makes it so much more convenient.
So anyway, your question is where,
What else is also on the horizon? I hear a lot about also crowdfunding being a huge factor coming into play.
I think Amazon's still way ahead of the market, capturing everything. This is the first year I saw an Amazon commercial. I saw one on the scene.
Really?
Yeah. Talking about Cyber Monday.
Wow, I have never seen
Yeah.
a commercial yet. Huh?
What did you say?
For an Amazon commercial.
Yeah, they put it a lot.
I normally don't watch TV.
No, we don't.
Yeah, a guy running in boxes, that was it. Yeah.
Oh.
So this is the first year.
I think that Amazon is just gonna be stronger because what's happening is that Amazon caters to the people so much that you literally have to bend over to please the customer. And
But people want that one-on-one, it seems to me. I mean,
No.
my sister.
They're too busy.
They want to be able to call up Amazon, says, I didn't get it, refund. Or, it's,
Bottom
Or I
line.
don't like.
You know what, though, depending on what market,
Yeah,
because there are certain markets where those who excel in customer service communication, they get some fantastic reviews, and it just, they take off, and then when you read the reviews, it's all about how great the customer service is. But
my sister is just growing, she doesn't have a site, she doesn't have a website. She just sells it through PayPal, she goes through Facebook, And I mean, she's making money and growing and growing.
Yeah. She could probably go faster in other avenues, but if
I
it
keep
works,
telling her, but she's like,
no, if it works, I mean, she's happy with it.
but it's working.
Well, you don't have to sell on Amazon to be successful. I mean, you guys actually can be more successful.
But that's why I mean,
You
people like working with
you
her
did.
because she has rabbits, they have rabbits, they talk about rabbits together. You know what I mean?
See, that's
Like,
good. That's exactly that's my example of a depending on the niche.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
people who are passionate about unique things will love to talk about it and are trying to look for other people, and they become loyal customers. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think the thing that makes me the most nervous about Amazon is Amazon Basic. And you're probably familiar with it because you've run across some products. They're taking the hottest products that people are selling on Amazon and they're cloning them. And they're cutting the margins down to nothing.
And they actually dominate the listings
Instantly.
with just the
Well,
basics.
yeah,
Right,
because
they've been
it's
doing
their
that.
charge of, placement.
Yeah,
You know,
it's their
Amazon's been doing that for years, the cutting up the vendor, we do, as vendors, doing all the selling, we're doing all their market research for them.
Yes.
They say, wow, look at this.
And all they
This
have to do
product's
is
selling
watch.
good.
Right.
Let me go find the, get the manufacturer, and now they're going one step farther and put, private labeling.
Yeah,
And
it's all
so
called
it's
Amazon
really
Basic.
unfair competition.
I bought some HDMI cables the other day and I'm looking at them, $30, $60, $80. Oh, Amazon Basic, $6.
Wow.
With the gold tips, all the buzzwords that everybody else had. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, cables, for one, I know one place that beats them all the time, Monoprice. I mean, we bought HDMI cables today
Yeah.
for $4, $3, 10-footers. Or, yeah, $4 for the 10-footers and
Well, I
$2.29.
got a 2-pack.
Oh. Wow, they beat them actually. That's
Yeah, I mean, it's
Wow.
ridiculous, but since there is no vendor,
yeah.
they're negotiating directly. They've got hundreds of guys in China looking for these products. I bought a 13-inch bag that's the best bag I've ever seen, and I think it was $11.
A laptop bag?
Yeah,
I know, I did see that.
absolutely fantastic bag. I'm just stunned.
I was wondering about how they were, because I was looking for a laptop bag. So
It's
that was on
really,
Basics.
really well built.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm a snob, but I felt kind of weird walking around a bag that said Amazon Basic.
Cut that part off a little bit.
Okay, so it's not just me. I was like, but yeah, it did look nice though. I thought, I wonder how it's going to be.
Well, I think, hasn't Amazon started opening retail stores as well?
Yes.
They've got a couple of
Really?
them.
Yeah.
They started
Not
talking
about
about
that.
the universities.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna be open all year.
Yeah. That's definitely, what they're talking about is regular retail stores you walk in and buy Amazon.
So what are they selling in there?
They started off as bookstores and they're expanding, conveniences for students.
So you think they're going to end up buying Barnes and Nobles off?
Uh,
I kind of wonder if they wouldn't someday go to, or you could order it there and go pick it up like you can at Best Buys or
Yeah, they have
something like that.
yeah,
rather than
I've
having to
seen
ship
those.
it in and install.
Yeah, they have it set up already with some.
Where you order something online,
They
you
drop it
go
off.
to Amazon to make it up.
So do you think it's actually going to be a viable tool for more internet marketers to jump into sell through, or is it going to get Amazon's going to start? I mean, have you guys been actually beat out by them, like where you have to? We've got the event's been hurting you. I guess the way they're changing it.
Well, Amazon has ways.
Yeah, you're talking about them doing, or us doing their product research.
Yeah.
Yeah, we started off, it was about 4 years ago. We found a new cosmetic line. No one had it. We put it up. We were selling the dickens out of it. And pretty soon we get a few other people, they found the product. And so there's other competition, but then the competition's fine as long as it's fair. And so, we adjust our price and all that. Then all of a sudden, one day our sales just dropped. Nothing.
We have
Amazon started
everything. We had everything on Amazon and FBA, and then all of a sudden there's no sales. And we went to check it. It says we have inventory, but it says product will be available like a month after.
That's another
They
good.
They stopped you.
They stopped me
There's
until
first.
they got the inventory and they released my
Wow.
inventory to sell.
We couldn't sell ours until Amazon could sell theirs, once they decided.
That's horrible.
That was a really weird experience because Amazon started selling and of course cutting off everybody and they
They get
always
the buy
had
box,
buy
no
box.
matter what.
So I kind of thought that we were selling, I mean, a little bit time and then I talked to my vendor and say, hey, this is not fair. You are selling to Amazon and he was at the office and he says, no, we are not. And I said, yes, you are. He says, no, we are not. And he says, look, I mean, why are you denying those things? And look over here, look at the page. And he says, no, we are not selling to Amazon. I know, I work for the company, we are not. So like, oh, are they buying like some knockoffs or something? Because we
That's
didn't
what the
know.
vendor said. He
Yeah.
said that there's
So-
another company knocking them off. And, which sounds strange that Amazon, they're deaf on knockoffs anyway. It sounds like they were buying the knockoffs.
So, but it was weird because after that, I mean, of course, we raised hell with the vendor, and then what happened was that Amazon put all the products up, and we just never buy from the company anymore. And so finally, Amazon just started to dump the stuff. They started dumping the stuff, and I mean, they're cutting, and they just
Yeah, they
dump
killed
it
the
on it,
brand.
but they killed the brand.
Wow.
On Amazon at least.
And so we went to a trade show 4 or 5 months ago, and the vendor that we originally, started selling, they were there and they were really happy to see us and they wanted to start selling. And no, because
Think about it again because we don't know what happened because we never have contact with the company anymore. We don't know if they really was the distributor they have in New York was the one that was sent to Amazon, or Amazon really got hold of knockoffs that somebody was giving knockoffs because it was the same product.
There's another way that they do that. If the manufacturer will deal with Amazon, the Amazon will go to their distributors. And they'll try to get a cut rate to the distributor. Distributors make 5–10%, really never touches the product. Amazon will still literally drop below cost to sell it.
That's what I think that it might have happened, and then they probably cut the distributor, and then the distributor couldn't sell to Amazon because Amazon has 1 or 2 products left from 2 years ago, and I used recall everything back, and I have a bunch of makeups and things over there on the because I didn't sell them anymore, and probably they are expired and all that stuff. So, but the brand. I don't think that anybody's selling now on Amazon. And if they are just the old stuff.
That's why more and more people are going to Shopify.
That's what I was wondering if that's going to be the next hot move for people to go through.
Well, isn't that another thing?
Go another step about Amazon and how it, their selling impacts the retail. We go to trade shows quite frequently to look for new products. We went, one time we're selling lingerie. So at the lingerie show in Las Vegas, guys, it's a treat.
Me too.
Really interesting.
I'll drive.
So
Very interesting.
we get there, and I'm listening to other people talking, and there were Amazon buyers all over the place.
Really?
It's like
Oh, yeah.
any other trade show, they always
And
go
so,
and packs. and
When we
they-
were, sitting down to make deals with vendors, that's one of the questions we have to ask. Are you dealing with Amazon? If they say yes, we say goodbye. Because we just can't compete.
No, I wonder, isn't that the clothing market on Amazon is very difficult to get into?
It's gated, and it all depends, you do have to persevere as long as you that's what they want. And you gotta have excellent pictures, descriptions, you gotta have your stuff together, you can get in.
Oh,
It's not impossible.
Website, right?
Hmm?
You have to have your own website.
They want you to have your own website so that they can see that you're a apparel
Person.
vendor.
so do you guys use Shopify to also sell?
I've been using Magento for years. I love Magento.
So you have a programmer that knows how to run that?
I do.
You run it?
Yeah.
Wow, because I've heard that's not an easy platform to.
That's, But,
Programmers that tell me that, I know it's hard.
I moved one of our stores over to Shopify. And I heard some people talking about when Shopify first came out. I looked at it. I didn't, compared to what Magento could do, it just didn't look good. But I looked at it again, and they had a lot of good stuff in it. I got a store up. I got it up easy. I was able to import everything from my Magento. They had a plugin. Press a button, and 15 minutes later, all my products from my Magento store was there.
Wow.
And they have it for a couple other cards. I think Zen card. So if you have a Zen card, you can just import all your stuff. It's fairly easy to navigate and get through. Their support is outstanding.
Shopify's or Magento's?
Magento is open source.
Yeah, so there's no support, right?
No. But Shopify, their support 24/7, and they're all, seems like they're really happy to talk to you.
Oh.
Every time.
That would be a change.
I'm really impressed with
No, I
it.
believe you.
Yeah,
But everybody
sounds
else
like
you
they're all
talk to,
really, really happy.
Well, they have to, because, if you're consuming the product in there, you really have to have a very good customer service, otherwise.
Yeah.
Never gonna go back.
So Magento, Shopify, how do you stack them against each other?
Well, I've had websites where I've had 80,000 SKUs on it, on the Magento side. It'd be a lot more difficult to do it on the Shopify side. They're geared more towards the smaller SKU numbers.
Okay.
I think the SKUs that we have on our current ones are about 300 to 500 SKUs, and it's it doesn't handle nested categories very well, and they call them something else. And so, but they have a number of templates, Shopify, that you can go through, and some of them are nested and different ones. But then I just found out that Template Monster also has Shopify templates.
Template Monster?
Oh, yeah. Never heard of Template Monster?
No.
So does ThemeForce too.
Yeah.
Yeah, ThemeForce has some pretty good, really.
How about something from ThemeForce one time, and I just wasn't pleased with it. But
Yeah, there's different quality of programmers. There's a whole bunch of different programmers on ThemeForce, so you really have to dig into the themes and look at their support. Usually the better ones will have their own dedicated websites with their own dedicated forums for support. And then you look in, I like to look in the question section to see how often they're responding.
right,
And so if they're just lackadaisical and their sales copy is just trash, then it's like, okay, I'm not going to touch this theme, even though it looks nice. But it's just like, you look at those, that kind of back end stuff to see how, see if you want to really buy it.
But that whole Shopify game, though, I mean, you're then competing on a whole level of independence, but then you have to you don't have the benefit of the bazillion shoppers that are on Amazon all day
well,
long.
no. So you got to do what you do,
The
SEO
Yeah.
and AdWords and all that.
I'd like to give a couple props to eBay. I got an eBay store as well as an Amazon store as well as my own store. And eBay it doesn't have quite the horsepower as Amazon, but there's way more profit. We make way more profit with what we sell with eBay.
So that actually, I was talking to somebody about that the other day. I said, when was the last time you bought something from eBay? And he laughed and said, I think it was like 2-3 years ago.
Well, I'll
And
tell you,
so there's still a lot of shoppers.
my numbers are there.
Ah.
They're maybe 10% below, same products, maybe 10% below Amazon, but we make maybe 25% more money. But you have to have the ability to do your own pick, pack, and ship. And that's what eBay doesn't do that. So it's an equalizer for smaller stores like yours, where you kind of want to pick, pack, and ship. So that's a big equalizer. Yeah.
Now, when you do drop shipping, can you do drop shipping through eBay? Like
Sure.
advertise it and have somebody else do this?
Yeah, well, you're the one doing the shipping, but you can't send it to eBay, and that's the big difference.
Yeah, you can't do FBA.
Yeah,
Although
they don't
they
know.
do have a program for international where you can send product.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But you can send your things that people buy on eBay to FBA to be shipped.
Right.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you can have,
Good, yeah. Have
Amazon
fulfill it.
fulfill your
Right.
eBay,
Right.
Yeah.
or even,
Yeah, you
That's
can
what the
actually
money
sell stuff
starts.
on your own site, and after it sells, you punch in the address, and Amazon will ship it for you because they have it ready. Yeah, of course, they take their fees. But,
Yeah.
yeah,
but it is very convenient because they have one of the most efficient warehouses. I mean, as far as in the world, getting product out of the world. So you get the benefit of that.
But don't you think that there's still a place for, just like I was saying, the one-on-one, the niche, for,
Yes, but off a
There is,
$30
but they
product.
may never find you.
Yeah.
because the big guys.
I think you have to be on a lot of different
Channels.
channels and places where you're talking to people about it.
Yeah, my girlfriend she sells soap, and she was the only one that did the Facebook contest. And she goes to, what do you call it, like crafting shows or whatever, where they have the tent set up, and she sells there, and she collects email addresses and sends out. But she, she's built a whole business around it. There's a lot more footwork.
I noticed you have YouTube videos up on your site.
Okay.
So obviously you're not afraid to get in front of the camera. Have you thought about doing podcasts?
Yes.
Because I heard a whole thing about on YouTube. There's like your competition. There's hundreds of competition.
Well, that's the thing is that I do fine on YouTube, but man, podcasting is hard. I've recorded 2 podcasts just to kind of see.
Can you take your YouTube video, or is that all visual so much that you cannot convert it over?
I really wanted to I didn't want to do the video at all for free, because really, if I write down how to do a massage and give that to you, if you're really desperate, you could like read it and figure it out. Or if I speak it to you, you could kind of get it. But like, if you really want to see it, I would like to charge for that. So that's kind of the idea I had there. But I wanted to do a podcast with a little broader range, other things that would help with healing.
Because there's a lot less competition on podcasting versus YouTube.
I would like to do a podcast. It just seems I don't like to hear or a stammer or any of that.
Yeah, but that's real world. People that listen to podcasts are used to that because we all talk that way.
Just don't ever point it out, because that's all they'll hear after that.
Yeah.
But if not, they'll ignore it until someone brings it to them. Did you count how many times you said and after that, that's all they can hear.
But I don't do it on the YouTube. I can do like an 18-minute YouTube thing, but with the podcasting, because you kind of put yourself in a little hole, you know what I mean, to make it sound good. At least I do. I crawl in my little cubby, and I make it very.
If it is your environment that's causing that, change the environment. Put a microphone that's coming off a stand, and that you're standing up like you are in front of the camera, and it'll help.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Even if it means putting a headset on.
So yeah, couldn't you, for your products, like if you were doing the makeup, couldn't you do a YouTube or a podcast and discuss different makeup tips and?
there's a ton of people doing this. And people, that have, hundreds of thousands of subscribers.
But everybody wears makeup. You know what I mean? There's plenty of room, for a niche there.
It is. There's so many people taking on very good. You're right, though. I mean, there's also room for somebody else that could grab the market, but they're going to have to be willing to be very persistent.
Don't we all? I know I deal with that. If I see another site doing something similar to mine, at first I just got freaked out, completely by it. But I'm me. I'm going to do it my way, and I'll find my customers.
And you can beat them.
Yep.
Well, it's not that I'm trying to beat anybody. I want the people that are my people. You know what I mean? My little.
They call it building a tribe. You
Yeah.
build your tribe. Absolutely.
Well, but the thing is that if you set your mind that that's what you want, that's what you want.
Yep.
Yeah. But I think they could work on a larger scale too.
Yeah, and even if there's a lot of people doing similar stuff, and if they are not doing what you are doing,
Exactly. I think that there's room for us. It can't just all be Amazon. I mean, it just.
No.
No. And there-
Stop
it's-
shopping. It's a little frightening.
The trend I'm hearing or seeing all over the places, everybody's talking about jumping on the Shopify bandwagon now, moving on to the next thing, which is
Yeah,
like,
I've heard that.
which is kind of like backwards because that's where they came from before. And then, and then Amazon came along and found it to be a less competitive market in the beginning, and then got really, really competitive overall, trying to fight with everybody else.
Well, Google's gotten so much better with searches.
Yes.
And so it's
Good
easier to
point.
find the niche,
Yes.
company if you're looking for back massagers. It's just not all Amazon and eBay and whatever else out there in the marketplaces. And the big people that can pay for it.
Yeah.
So
I agree, and that's another
that's
thing.
where good SEO will help. Even the smaller ones. And that's the best investor.
Going toward, which has never gone away, is actually finding your niche and being the expert in it and really just dominating it. And we've not, Stephen and I actually, when we launched it 3 months ago, when did Solid Search get put together? 3 months?
About that, 4 months.
Yeah, when we put our company together, and we found that a customer asked us, "Will you do our ads for us?" And I asked them what they wanted, and specifically that wasn't the market we were going to go after. And at first, I actually told them, "You know what? You're not our demographic." And they said, "But nobody's doing this, so they need someone that can actually do it." And we had the skills, we just didn't want to do it. It's way too much work, which is why nobody really does it. So we took what we had and we just said, we'll do it. Then we started doing it. And we found ourselves in a niche that's been so amazing of how many people are dying for what we know and what we're teaching, that we were talking to somebody else and they said, what did he say specifically? Do you guys have, can I come to your office where you can, where I can do training in your office?
Yeah, I'll fly down there.
Yeah, he said he'll fly to come training with it. And we said, well, our office is really, really small. It's just 2 of us kind of thing that can't really do it. And he said, when are you guys going to do a boot camp? Because he says, I know 5 people, because I did a presentation on it, and just the fundamentals. And he goes, what do you guys, he said, I know 500 people that would actually jump on it right away. They'd fly to this boot camp.
So make the boot camp.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. And it was something we were never going to go into. I mean, really. And we are starting to diversify this one niche and it really is. It's not really a niche that's hidden because people are doing it, but it's mostly like the big players like Kmart, Kohl's, Walmart. You see them all over the place. Amazon. You see them
What's
all
the
over.
niche?
Oh, it's retail. It's retail AdWords. There's a very strong demand for people who want to sell their product, even Amazon sellers, and they have no idea where to begin. And I think what it is really the niche is to service the beginner who's starting to do it. Because it's the big boys that all have these experienced guys that already know it. They hire us, and we would be working they have in-house experts that are already in it. But nobody has access to the beginner on how to get physical products up there without getting just ripped off like crazy by Amazon. Like you said, you're optimizing your product listings now.
Yeah.
Everybody who has just tried it and listens to Google's advice ends up saying this thing doesn't work. And they're wrong. They're completely wrong. It does work. It works really well. But you have to do it right. And that's the thing is when we started sharing what we know, some of the advanced strategies, but dumbed it down, I think that's the niche that we became the expert in, how to make it a little more simple. And Margie was there when we did the presentation. Is that what, am I right? Is the niche is actually that we are being able to explain to people who just no experience in it, And it's quite amazing.
I read where Amazon sells 17% of the sales online. That means 83% are done by everybody else.
Yeah, that blows me away with how much they sell, and it's only 17%. I'm glad that that's all it is.
17%.
Isn't that much? Because it was just much less than that. Like it was like a 3% or something
But
like that.
that's what I read. Said
Yeah,
17%, but I'm thinking 83% out there is for everybody else. I mean, you don't have to go through Amazon. I do Amazon, but I'm getting discouraged with them. Just like what you're saying.
No, I'm not discouraged.
No,
I love
no.
Amazon.
No, I love them too, but,
You can make millions on Amazon. You can make millions on Amazon.
They say Alibaba's bigger.
Yes. Wait till they hit our market, like hard.
Alibaba. But the searching is very different.
Very
Yeah.
difficult. It was my understanding, particularly from Jason and Will, that going to Shopify is kind of the next stage to create your brand. So you started on Amazon and then just start getting away from Amazon to more retail, if you will, on your own. Go through Shopify and then try to get into big box stores and things to get your brand going even farther.
Yes, and that's a big, what do you call it? That's the big strategy. Start off on Amazon, build it up, get it onto the store, build your own customer base, fan base, and sell it through your own website so you're not paying all the Amazon fees, and really hopefully your customer starts to spread the word about you. And then you get into stores just by sheer branding power. I don't know, I mean, how often that happens, but yeah, it's exactly, get on Shark Tank or, so I mean, that's another thing, I guess the crowdfunding part of it is actually being really big now. That's another part of life. Yeah.
Let's say if you have your own brand, I mean, your own stuff. I'm basically a retailer. I buy from them, sell them.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah, you said do you private label anything yourself now?
Yes, I'm importing a few products from China. I was actually having them manufactured out in Somas, made out of material and everything. And now we're having it done in China. It's so cheap, I just can't believe it. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
How's the quality?
The quality's been excellent. It was actually better than what we're getting in Somas.
Oh, good.
And we were very, very picky out there, and we thought they did a great job. And then we got some samples, and we started looking at them, and we're like, wow. So, we said, well, we'll get a couple thousand of these, and they
Did
just
you
came.
have any doubts that they were going to send you the same as the samples?
Pardon me?
Did you have any doubts that the vendor was going to send you your merchandise exactly the same as the sample?
That was a concern, but I don't think anybody else is going to know what to do with it. They don't even know what they are. The people that don't know what they are. Yeah.
That's interesting. That's awesome. And then, are they selling well?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Into the thousands a month. Yeah, so we're very pleased. And then we saw some, we call them door panel kits. They fit on the back of doors. We've been buying some for like $60 to maybe $120 and then doubling them. And we had a fellow come in from China. He threw it on the table, which was the best one we've ever seen. We go, how much? He was $13. So, we tried not to jump up and down and scream. We go,
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Is that the best you can do?
Yeah,
How about 12?
yeah, about 12 containers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Chris, I think, you're asking about trends for the next year. I think the trend is more of people like us, finding, and making their own brand, getting on, and doing this ourselves rather than, I think you're going to see a lot more entrepreneurs.
I'm hoping so. That will be a great.
Helps your business.
It does, absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm making a boot camp and fill a room with all these entrepreneurs out there. But yeah, I'm really hoping that it's going to be. I mean, I love Amazon too. I love shopping on it and selling on it. But I'd like to see something where people can build their own and survive and thrive on their own if the right.
Well, that's one reason why ASM's been so popular.
Yeah,
Because it's given everybody a method to do it.
Yeah. There's a Periscope that we watch now that comes in by one of the coaches that comes out there, and he puts it like his hints and tips of things that are going on, and it's so informative. And of course, he sells a coaching course with it on top of that. And
What's his name?
Ben Cummings. Yeah.
I started doing Periscope, and it's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, you get past the girls that playing cutesy at night. There's a lot of interesting content.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who just do really, really good informative stuff, and they're using it to sell courses. Like Pat Flynn and Chris Ducker, they talk a lot about how they're using Periscope to build an Internet Business Mastery. The podcasters are all jumping on it.
Yeah,
And
Casey Zeman?
I've heard of him, but
He's
is he
pretty
on?
good.
Oh yeah.
And, he does a lot of Periscope.
Yeah,
At least once a day.
it's amazing.
So
Even Deepak Chopra's on Periscope.
he
How do you-
goes with Deepak Chopra.
Yeah, at least twice a day. He's walking in La Jolla around his home and everything.
That's so awesome.
So that adds a whole new perspective. And it's going to get to the point where Periscope gets monetized, because there are, we're in the beauty industry. There's beauty girls doing the same thing that the YouTube girls do.
Yes.
And they're pushing products and all that stuff. So it's just another tool for us to use.
There's another opportunity for you because it's.
That's what I
There are
was thinking
so
about.
many places to go, it's like you can spend all day doing your Facebook, your Twitter, your email, it's a little,
It is overwhelming. So you pick one and be good at it. That's what-
I've stuck in there with Facebook, even though I really detest Facebook, but.
Me too.
Yeah.
You sucked in.
I don't like it, at all, but I figured that they seem to know supposedly about people. They seem to know, not anything about me, but they seem to know customers, so I'm stuck in there with it. But Periscope that's live, and then it goes to YouTube, right? Or it goes.
You can.
So is there a search, because I've watched
Yeah,
Periscopes, but I
where do you
haven't
find that?
ever figured out.
Right here. There's a place to search.
Oh.
What's the guy's name coming in?
Ben.
Cummings.
There he is right there. All that.
He's usually on in the mornings.
Yeah, early mornings he jumps on, maybe
East
7.
Coast.
7
Between 7 and
And
10.
then the strategy, which is very common, is that he won't start his content until he has 125 people on.
Oh.
So he'll say, hi, good morning, everybody.
And then like, okay, we're waiting. Oh, that's problems.
Yeah, so that's a common strategy, so that they actually,
Strategy rather than.
Yeah.
it's more of a strategy for them. So
It fills
they-
up in like 30 seconds though.
Yeah, for guys like Randall, it's just, and Steve had a good point too, is that if you're first or one of the first to get on there, you can comment. But once after a certain threshold, everybody else cannot comment. They're too late to comment. So, people, as soon as, if you subscribe to them, as soon as they're jumping online, you get a tweet. It goes like,
Yeah.
what is it?
That little noise, and you're like, okay, let's go, quick.
And so you look at it, and he's the only one that actually times it.
It is addicting.
I get the.
Oh, no, I don't subscribe to anybody else.
Oh, okay,
I do subscribe to those, but for some reason, they don't go on anymore. They've stopped.
Did you mention somebody else?
Chris Ducker.
Christopher?
Yeah, he's the guy who does a lot of outsourced work. He runs an outsourced service in the Philippines. He actually is out there.
Have you done any thing with VAs?
Have I?
Yeah.
When I worked for my prior company, we had 3 people from the Philippines working for us. One was just doing a lot of our blog fixing and posting. One was actually a programmer. And I don't know what the other guy did. But we had some of those. But I never worked with one by myself. I did bring that, when I went on my own, I asked that one girl that I did know that worked for the other company, she would do some side work for me. And just like every month she'd do all the backups and put them in certain places, so I had all my backups running for all the different websites. I didn't have to worry about it. But after a while, I just kind of dropped that from that. Yeah. But I do need to probably get back in it.
Periscope by Twitter?
Yes.
Well,
It's on my Twitter?
Yes.
Periscope, Twitter, Inc. Yeah,
I'm just looking it up.
Yes.
Well, there's a program that'll catch those periscopes too, I think it's catch.me.
And they call them scopes.
Oh yeah, that's it. So then, if you have it set up with your catch.me, then it actually pushes over.
Ben Cummings puts his on his site though, so you can always go get them there.
Yeah, eventually take
Oh.
the other sides it goes to you.
Yeah. He has great content. Yeah. That's why people
Yeah,
jump
his
in.
coaching is pricey. It's
Yeah.
like almost $300 a month.
I can't imagine it not being worth it though. That guy is so smart. I mean, some of the stuff is just common sense stuff that you don't even realize. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh yeah, he's amazing.
I think as a coach, he's probably a very good coach.
And he said Pat Flynn.
Flynn is on it. Yeah, he jumps on it once. And then the guys from Internet Business Mastery, Jason Van Orden and Jeremy Franzen. Those guys are also on it. And the thing is, a lot of them do just the regular stuff, but I haven't seen anybody give us good content that's more that's educational as Ben does. He actually has like whiteboard made out with already diagrams pre-made. He'll show certain things. He'll draw strategies. So he really does plan it well, other than just talking to a camera.
What was the last name again?
Cummings.
No, Chris, Chris Tucker, you said?
Yes, Chris Ducker. So
Oh, it's Tucker with a D?
yeah,
D, and C, okay.
and then
And
See, like Pat Flynn has a whole niche, and what does he really do? I mean,
Pat
he
Flynn,
kind, he
he's
kind of does everything. I mean, you couldn't really say he does,
he's an internet marketer.
but he doesn't like.
In essence, majority of it is he's not only an educational guru. I mean, an educational teacher for internet marketing, but he is by far the what I call, I guess, the mastery of affiliate marketing.
But I'm just saying he has a whole niche there. I mean, it wasn't really there until Pat Flynn sort of built that. You know what I mean? Like we were discussing.
You know what? He jumped in amongst others, but he just excelled better. Like how you were saying, he built his tribe, and people just connected with him better than most. And that's the thing. He's very consistent, stuck with it all the way
Some of
through.
these guys start off and then you don't know when they're.
You know what? The biggest thing for Pat Flynn that really blew open his door, that really got him to, is that he started putting his income statements. He was the first to really go so transparent that everybody was like, that's kind of crazy what he's showing. But it was what everybody wanted, the truth, more than anything else.
I think his podcast.
John, Happy New Year. Thank you very much for coming on and sharing.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Sorry to leave early.
Oh, no.
Bye.
Merry Christmas.
There's a button right there to turn on and off notification. Right there.
Oh,
So,
Well, maybe I have them off.
probably. Now you can get notified by everybody.
Where's the notification button?
Next to their name when you.
You know how Periscope.
Mine quit showing up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're showing up in the middle of the night.
Okay, so we are at 8:30, so I just want to thank everybody for just an awesome year. That this group has just been such a phenomenal thing for, again, educational wise, getting this point in.
And
Next-
thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris, for
Oh,
the
yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I would like to know if there's anything
Yeah.
specifically. Please let me know if there's anything that anybody wants specifically to know about, learn about, hear about, and even if you know speakers or if you want to speak. We were supposed to have a guest speaker tonight. The guy had called me and said that he's probably watching live, that he actually used to come from Antelope Valley to come to it, and he was super excited that we're starting to broadcast live. But he actually knows a lot about reputation management and how to use the positive reputation management to do marketing and enhance that, which is very curious to me on how that would work. And then also negative reputation management, how to take care of that. So that was going to be his topic for the evening. Unfortunately, he got too busy. He said he couldn't make it for this week, so we'll see if there's another month he can actually come out. But if anybody has anything specific that they'd like to know about, I'd love to find a subject matter that I can go look for speakers on. Or if you have a special niche or process or thing that you'd like to share, by all means, I'd love to have anybody else open up and share their strategies and things that they're wanting to win on that one.
When we can do the next contest.
The only thing about contests is that now that we're so busy, I don't know.
Yeah. You got a booth you have to do.
I wouldn't be able to
I
answer
know.
that one. But I am looking forward to do something more. That is something that definitely.
SEO always seems like it's a pretty big problem, you know, something everybody's interested in.
Yes, and that I do want to make that Learn Basic SEO completely free and open, which are basic fundamentals of SEO, and put it on there. And I would like to find a way where it would be interactive. So if somebody has questions about it, not just commenting, but beneficial conversation going on a certain subject. Because I have it all broken out. And I think you guys have. There's a chart that I have. Learn Basic SEO, I think, /downloads. But there's a chart I have of just all the different categories of SEO that should be on there, or that people should be following. And I can actually do the breakdown on it. I think that's.
Is that .com?
Yeah.
Learn basic SEO.com.
Yeah, slash downloads. I think I have it here. Yeah, so basic SEO, oh, I gotta change the font. The mind map. So yeah, this is actually gonna be the structure of it. And I go with the race car with the 4 tires on that way. But basically, every one of these bubbles is something dealing with the structure of SEO and what makes a complete picture. So I was going to go one by one. Each one is, so obviously I have well over a year's worth of content to go ahead and put up there. And I can just go, talk about each one. What is, like, what is a site tag? And then what is a keyword, the keyword benefit of URLs? What bolded terms might do for you? The niche, you're finding the right niche, your strength, and keyword research, and all that other stuff that goes into it.
What's the site again?
LearnBasicSEO.com. And then if you go to /downloads, it has a couple of
And that's where your mind map is?
This is the mind map's there. Yeah, there's three downloads. I don't know what else is on there. SEO calculation. So this is an old thing I figured out a while back, which I thought was really, really cool. But you can play around with this if it opens up in Excel. But this is like your competitor chart. If you look at like your total rank in your domain, but basically this is to understand how SEO works. So if you have your on-site SEO, and this is just an example of how an algorithm would work. Because people understand, well, how does SEO work? Basically, if you have a title tag and it has the keyword in it, you get a certain amount of points for it. Okay, and then depending on what H1 tag is, you get a certain amount of points on it. So your whole page you add up in points. It's mathematical. And then Google will then look at all these other pages. Who else has it? And then backlinks. How much points do you get for that? Now, depending your title tag, you'll get like a multiplier of 50 points if your keyword is in there. And if you don't, then you get maybe a little less. If you have something that's similar, you get a multiplier of 5 points on it. So at the end, whoever has the most points will get the higher ranking. And if you play around with these numbers, you'll see that all the things start changing. I just put just random multipliers just to show an example how it might work if you have your H1 tag with your keyword in it or not. Or if you have a backlink from a high-powered trend, what would happen? So that was used more for an example, and I told people they could play around with that. So that was something that was on there as well. And then the other one was a checklist. I don't even remember what this is about.
When did you set this up?
Wasn't 2015. I don't remember. About 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. And then it's changed. There's the content that was on and off. I did hire someone to do some graphics for me from Fiverr, and it was good to get it up, but they weren't necessarily something that. Oh, it looks like it's the same. Oh, here. So this is just a basic checklist of the stuff that's actually on the mind map. You know, what you might want to look at. And it's not something, it will definitely overwhelm people who don't know anything about it. So what I want to do is just these are the top 10 things that you want to start with. And if that's enough for you, then you're not going to pull your hair out, stop there. Because trying to do the rest, you have more.
Suggestion on your mind map, start simple, just a few, maybe one color, simple. Color, a bit more advanced, other color a little bit more advanced instead of all of it at one, you know.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And that would be like the top 10.
It's free.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, that's honestly, I am looking for a programmer. If anybody knows one that could do this pretty simply. But the mind map, my goal with this was to actually make this the home page, just like this. And as you mouse over it, it kind of made bigger so you can read it. And if you click on it, it takes you to the page and the explanation. Using HTML5. Shouldn't be that hard. Of course, it would be SEO nightmare. It wouldn't rank. That would be totally defeating the purpose because it's not going to do it. It doesn't have any text that's all over the place. It's more gonna be HTML5 on that. But I don't care if the site isn't right. That's not, the goal is to get education out. People will find it just over time, they'll share it and go around with it, but that was the goal of that. So we'll see what's going on. But yeah, thank you guys very much for coming out.
Thank you, Chris.
I will see you guys in January.
Appreciate it. Happy holidays. Yes, happy holidays.
Yes, happy holidays.
Thank you so much.
So the recordings are going on the website?
Yeah, they go live right on there and then they stay up there.
I like those long shoes. I can see it.
Can you see him?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Don't run me over.
I know. See, I have my new ones on that are like, you got those.